For today's ASMR Latin, it's DBG. We should be on 4.24 here. All right, we start off, we always read the whole sentence, op barbari, yeah. We notice a couple of things standing out, right? We're starting with our subject, so we can translate there. But the barbari, and then we get a nice little ablative absolute with the concilio of the Romanorum having been cognitoed, with the equitatu having been primissoed, and the esidariis. It's like a double. So first ablative absolute, second ablative absolute, and then we get a relative clause, quo through consuerunt. Now quo is ablative. Let's go on with genere. Why is quo genere ablative here? I should have noticed that uti, right, which takes the ablative, it's going to be the object of uti. So which sort of thing, right, which sort of equipment or warfare they were accustomed to uti in proiliis. Throw your adverb in there, plerumque. Reliquis copiis subsecuti, that's a participle, but it's not ablative. It's just describing the barbari having subsecutied with reliquis copiis. And we keep in mind our whole structure here. All we've really done so far is subject, participial phrase describing that subject, and then the rest of our main clause. That subject we're prohibebanting nostros, direct object, from the infinitive, from agredi, and then this ablative of separation, nawabus. Erat obhas causas summa difficultas, which is, nice, it's like a whole sentence right there. Our verb, there was, obhas causas, summa difficultas, right? And then we keep going, we're reading the whole sentence. Well, we got a quod clause, all right? Quod through potuerat militibus autem, pretty long sentence. But as I'm reading through it, I should notice that I've got all these undum, right? Endum, ondum, erat, right? I should notice that structure. And then I keep reading, and the last part of my sentence from cum illi is a cum clause, right? So cum illi coicerent et incitarent. So the second half of my sentence is a cum clause. So I'm really just looking at the first half. There was a summa difficultas because, and inside my quod clause, I'm going to have my own subject and verb, right? The naves, propter magnitudinem, non poterant, and then I need an infinitive, to constitui, or to be constituted, nisi and alto. Cool. And then I get the militibus, which they're a person. I look at them and they're either dative or ablative, but since they're people, I'm going to assume they're dative, but I'm going to keep going and find out why. Come across a couple of ablative absolutes with the loci signo, or in, this could be an ablative of place where, if you wanted to call it, or just an absolute expressing place, in loci signotis, or with the places being ignotis, with their monibus having been impeditis. And then this has a comma here, so their monibus aren't impeditis by the magno et gravi honore. Instead, the magno et gravi honore is describing this other, is going with oppressis. With their monibus having been impeditis, having been oppressis by the magno et gravi honore of their armorum. Or we could say that the oppressis here is referring back to the militibus, right? With their monibus having been impeditis, the militibus having been oppressis by the magno gravi honore armorum. Either way, it all expresses the same thing. And those dative soldiers that we're hanging on to in this second part of the sentence are dative because they deciliendum erat and consistendum erat and pugnandum erat, which take datives of agent, right? These passive periphrastics take datives of agent. Literally, it had to be deciliendum by the militibus. But we're going to say the militibus had to deciliendum de navibus, and inflictibus consistendum, and pugnandum cum hostibus, right? Those are datives of agent with the passive periphrastic. Carthago delenda est. Carthage must be destroyed by the dative. And then we get our cum clause. And cum clauses, like any clause, are going to have their own subject. Illy, and then all the way through this participle describing illy, the whole thing's going to be a participial phrase describing illy. There are subject illy, having progressed, blah, blah, blah. Another ablative absolute. Omnibus membris expeditis, which should recall back somebody else with their monibus impeditis, right? We've got omnibus membris expeditis. notissimis locis as opposed to ignotis locis. And then our object tele coicerent, right? But those guys, audacter tele coicerent, and equos insua factos incitarent. Right? So a nice contrast between our guys and those guys, right? Nostros and illi. Quibus rebus in the ablative. Nostri perteriti, aquae huius omnino generis pugnae imperiti. Nostries are subjects, and they're being described by the participle, the adjectives perteriti and imperiti, and then the quibus, just part of this participial phrasal perteriti. Our guys, perteritid by quibus rebus, and imperiti, which takes the genitive, huius omnino generis pugnae. What were nostri doing, right? We still need a verb describing them, and we get this eadem alacritate ac studio relative clause, and then a verb. And so this alacritate ac studio are the ablative objects of this verb ute banter. Right? They were not ute bantering this, which, right? My relative clause has its own grammar too, which is ablative. Why? Because it's the object of uti, again, which takes an ablative object, which they consuerant to uti in pedestribus proiles. So a lot of ablative direct objects here, a genitive with the adjective peritus, a lot of ablative absolute and participial phrases here, but otherwise easy to notice the clauses, easy to notice the parallel structure, easy to pick out, okay, why is this dative O? Because of these paraphrastics, right? And we're looking at all of these similar structures and the contrast between the barbarians and the Romans, our guys, right? Nostri.